Today I'm taking you on a completely new journey of learning how to tattoo from the beginning. Hello! Today is a unique video because from today I'm gonna bring you to a whole journey of becoming a tattoo artist and learning how to tattooing. But first thing which I need to do, the basic thing, is to try to find my style, to find a niche of things I want to do as a tattoo artist, because I don't want to do everything. I want to have a specific type of style that I'm gonna go for, and today is the first etap of this, first step of becoming and trying to find it. So if I want to achieve this, I need to find my style and already start sketching on paper in this style. Second step is to buy everything I need for tattooing and do some designs and practice on fake skin. And second etap of this is going on actual tattooing course and learn tattooing on fake skin and then on real people. So obviously I do have some favorites in styles, and I don't want the style of tattooing be completely different from the style I already have in drawing and painting. So this is some of the drawings I already did in my transfer well into tattoos. My style in drawing is often pencil sketches with a pop of color. Sometimes it's red. I do mostly people faces, so this is something which I might follow also in tattoos. I do like colors, I do like high contrast. So what I'm thinking is trash polka style. If you don't know, this is how trash polka looks like. I think it's really cool, it's different, it's trashy, it's a little messy. I don't like when everything is so perfect in art. I like when there is a contrast, when some lines are really well done, that they have a purpose in them, but some are a little bit messy, that they can just express the feelings, not be just perfect to be perfect. So that's why trash polka. Second is definitely realism, but in my style. So like that's the, I'm gonna show you also some tattoos which I find really cool from more realist style. And also I'm thinking high contrast realism, where I already do sometimes, which is using only black and empty space to create contrast, which make it look realistic but simple and also a little bit messy. And the fourth thing I want to include in my tattoo style is calligraphy. Calligraphy letters, quotes and things like this. This is something which I already know how to do because I've learned calligraphy a long time ago and I really love it. Like I had like a really long episode of writing in calligraphy for like topics when I was in classes. Like I write topics in calligraphy or something in my notes, and I really love it, and I think that I can develop to make it even better and make it look cooler. And this is also like something which is now quite popular. I think the high contrast in calligraphy are the things which are, I believe they're popular now. But I think overall these things are obviously kind of trends, but calligraphy is something which never gonna go, like, it's timeless. Calligraphy is timeless, realism is timeless, high contrast depends how, it is also timeless. Trash polka, not exactly, but pop of color is something which gonna be timeless. And yeah, this is the vision for how I see myself in tattoos. So let's see how it's going. Here's my sketchbook, and I did some practice in here. I want to focus mostly in calligraphy in this first episode, so I'm gonna show you what I did, but also did some, I think, cool but simple designs for tattoos. So let's see. This is where I started. You can see this is not like the usual calligraphy style. I don't know, do I have like, I'm gonna show you then like how normally I write in calligraphy. It's obviously on a little angle, so they look differently. They're not that simple, and you need to, I need to understand how the letters works. And I know letters, and I have my style in letters in calligraphy already, but as we can see in the different ones, that most of these cool looking tattoos in calligraphy, in words in calligraphy, not tattoos, they have these extra lines around them, which make them look more complicated, more mysterious. I don't know how to call it, but it's hard to make them because they like blend into everything, and these lines sometimes doesn't make sense, so you need to understand how they works. And this already looks pretty sick, and I remember that when I did this too, I'm like, that's actually quite good. You know what I did? I take my brush pen and I try to do it on my hand, and here's the result of this. It's like a picture and probably a video. I think it looked pretty sick, and I actually keep it for like a week or a little more than a week. I think it's like I redo it because I really like it. I think that looks sick, so maybe I'll do it. I'll actually do it, but yeah. So yeah, this is the design, and it's like you can see that these lines, they don't make sense when you first look at them, but when you come closer, you realize that, for example, this line starts from here and it goes here, here, and here. It's a lot. For example, which one? This one goes from here to here, but you need to start from here. So like, it doesn't make sense, but when you look closely, you realize where they came from. And this is the hardest part, because you need to imagine what you want to write and how you need to put your lines in perfect position, perfect order, to make it look like this, to don't make it messy but make it intentional. And yeah, here are my attempts to achieve this. Yeah, that's definitely messy. So you can see, like, I did the line, I knew that it's supposed to be somewhere here, but like, it doesn't look good. Here we have something which already starts to look quite well, but no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I tried to write S here. We change a word. No, the word is love. Yeah, and here we have some designs. Here's the high contrast things. I like the butterfly. I think it looks cool. And the eyes. The eyes, I also have printed this on my wall. Here, you cannot see this, but it is there. I have these eyes on my wall, and I love how they look. They're really simple to do. You don't need to know much if you have a reference photo, and I think that's gonna be pretty sick if I'm gonna be able to do it from like most of reference photos, even if they're not already high contrast, that I can just look at it and be like, okay, here is the darkest part, so I can do it, and that's gonna be look realistic, but with not much details, because obviously in tattoos sometimes less is more. Yeah, and here we have I think that's the more normal how I would write it without trying much. This is how my calligraphy looks like. Here we have Lucky, have Soul, Young. I think that looks pretty sick, and also as you can see I did add here some extra lines which make this pop out, like make it a little more 3D. Here we have a pop of color. This is the letter M with a heart. Cute. And here's my name in calligraphy. Oh, more attempt on my name. As you can see, I built some confidence here. Wait. Yeah. So they actually started looking more and more mindful. Oh, and here we have, like, I think the final version of my name. And I did some alphabet here to remember myself, like how I write this letters, and try like which one I like more. Like they're not good, but no, that's just a practice, and I need to remember myself that this doesn't need to look beautiful on a first try. That this is exactly what I'm doing this. That I want this sketchbook to be for like trashy art, to just try and do and learn and make mistakes and draw and do it again and again. And here we have also something different with here pop of color but also high contrast. I chose this purple, but I don't think that was a good choice. That would look better in the dark. Some dark color probably would work better, because for example these are lips, but I don't think they look like something is wrong about them. The spider looks cool, but also in black will make more sense. Here we have some design. I don't know, I don't think I like them that much, but they connect these three elements of calligraphy, let's say high contrast, realism, and color pop, and some geometric something. I don't know. The quotes doesn't like they. I don't know what I had in mind, but I think they look tragic. Like that looks really sad. And now we have another word. Now it's blessed. Blessed. Oopsie. And here I switched the brush pen to a different one with a more loose brush, which make it look more messy. I think that might be cooler on a bigger surface, but on a small sketchbook like this doesn't kind of make sense, or at least I don't have enough skill yet to be able to make it look cool. And here's something which I find it interesting, because I started doing the first attempt in with just a pen to make it, to check how the lines should go. And here is pen and then a brush pen over it, and that looks actually great. Like these lines make sense. Like they're not that chaotic as the lines I did in the other words. As you can see, the vine is also fine, but on a little angle. It doesn't look good. With art, muse, divine. Oh, and here I tried to check how the brush works in like try to feel how this brush works, because I don't have much experience with this brush yet. But yeah, it's actually pretty hard, because like as you can see, it makes the lines look quite unaesthetic, that they're not the perfect lines. But damn, that's my fault probably, because I don't know how to use it properly yet. Another divine, another name here, another heart. I don't know what happened here. Bless you, with a smiley face. Oh, and I really like this one. Ambitious. Yeah, they look good. Blessed. Music, ambitious music with the extra lines to make it pop. Another alphabet, really messy alphabet, but some of the letters are pretty pretty. For example, this I really like this Rest of the alphabet, K. Yeah, something definitely wasn't working with the K, and I decided to do it. Oh, here we have just some lines to train my hand. It actually looks cool. That could be actually like used in a design of tattoo, and I think that will work well. So I might put it into some future designs. And here is the, like, I think first proper design for a tattoo. And also I did a whole time lapse of this. So now I'm gonna talk about what is going on with this design and what I think that it's pretty sick. So recently, like as you can read it, I'm Mr. Rage, obviously, with a tiger just really angry, just enraged. Why did I choose to do it? Obviously, I was scrolling through some Pinterest photos, and I actually think I have something similar on one of my wallpapers on my phone. But I recently find myself thinking about the old times when I believed that I had been in my rage era, that I was really motivated, but I was motivated because I was mad, and I was mad at myself. I was mad at everything that was happening, that this huge emotion, this huge really negative emotion pushed me through doing many things and be disciplined, motivated, and like I was doing crazy things at the time, and I miss it. But like my brain remember only the good part of this. Like the rage doesn't come out from nothing. The rage was really clear, and like I know that I wouldn't want to be in this position anymore. Like I know that was not a good time for me. I know that I was really miserable at the time, but the rage was there, and the rage is something which I think we tend to romanticize, that oh, that was such a good thing, like this pushed me through doing so many things that, you know, then show me that it was worth it or something. But at the end of the day, like the rage was the motivation. But right now I learned that like I go through this, the rage disappear, and with the rage the motivation become lower. Like the motivation is not that intense, because the rage, the anger inside me is not now available for me to touch it, because I feel better about myself. And I think everyone just had a moment in their life when the motivation come from anger, then you know that this motivation disappear quite fast, that you shouldn't be following and only depend on a motivation from the rage, because it will disappear. The real motivation should be inside you and should come from the safe space and healthy place of you wanting to become a better person, not from the hate of yourself, hate towards yourself, that you hate yourself so much that you want to kill the person inside you. This is not something which gonna last. And with my example, it didn't. Like, the rage disappear, and the hunger is lower now, I guess. Or maybe it's not in the power anymore. And like, I think that's just remind me that even though I find this time as like I did so much at this time, but like, you weren't happy. You were miserable, and that doesn't count as this is better. No, it wasn't. Unfortunately. Yeah. And that just might remind me and us that the rage, even if it's not there, we can make it now from the better things than hate towards something or towards us. And yeah, I think that's it about this design. Right there, right here. And just look at this tiger. It's pretty. It's really pretty. And I was thinking that I could do some pop of color, probably red. But I didn't came with like any good idea, and I'm a little bit afraid I'm gonna destroy this thing. So I might just leave it like it is right now, because I tend to do something and I do too much and then I regret it in my drawings. But like, yes, I think like pop of color will make it even like stand out more and maybe push the message even in further. But like, I'm really happy. I don't draw animals that often, and it took like around 2 hours for finishing this, so I think that's a pretty good amount of time for something like this. It's not that bad. Also, like, I usually no, like, I recently started focusing more on like big pieces and stuff, which takes hours to do, and I forget that I can just do something like this. And you know, that's probably gonna like that it's not stopping me from doing this, that I can just sit for an hour and that's also gonna be fine. I don't need to spend 6 hours on drawing or painting, because this is how I tend to do that. Like, when I draw or paint, I sit and I spend this 4 hours just on that. But you know, there's not always a time for this, not always a place for this. And instead of thinking like, oh, like you need to do 4 hours of drawing, no, you can just sit for even 15 minutes and do something like this, because it doesn't take much time, right? Definitely it takes more than this one page, but like this and this like improve my skills, and I think that's important for me to remember that, you know, I can just sometimes do something simple and that's also gonna be okay, because it's better to be consistent than do large projects one time a month than every day a little thing, because that's gonna make me better in a longer time than just, you know, but not every day, instead of doing a little bit of something every day. And I think that might be the message of today's video, to do something small every single day, even when we don't have time. So for today, I think that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope we see soon with a next episode of how I try to become a tattoo artist in this year. That's definitely not gonna be the only content here, but yes, there's definitely gonna be a couple of videos like this, so follow for more and follow to see the journey where it's gonna take me, and if I actually can achieve this goal of becoming a tattoo artist this year. That might be a little too much, but like at least learn how to tattoo. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. See you.